Okay, first question. How old were you when you learned English?
So I really learned English when I first came here to the States. So I came here when I was about 7 years old.
Okay.
hmm
What grade level did you start when you came here?
I want to say that I started second grade here in the United States. So I spoke Tagalog, and then I came here. I completely didn't speak English at all. I went to second grade, needing to learn the language.
Okay. Did you practice English back in the Philippines with your family, or did you take classes to learn English?
We took classes to learn English, but they weren't very good classes. They were just kind of there to teach us how to count in English and how to say hi, hello. But other than that, um, I had very little understanding of English when I came here to the United States.
Was your English sufficient when you started school, or was it difficult for you to actually go into the classroom and conversate with your peers or understand the teacher?
hmm Yeah, no, it was very difficult. My mother used to say that when I first started school here, I would always ask the teacher if I was sick. I would always tell her that I was sick so that I didn't have to go to school that day. Um, and she likes to tell a story that I had my first major problem when we came here to the States. Not because I didn't have any friends or anything, but because I didn't know English, so I would cry and like,
Oh,
I don't have any friends because I don't know any English, and I'd say that in Tagalog, which
yeah.
is our native language. Yeah, and my most distinct memories of remembering early elementary was telling my teacher to feel my forehead for a fever.
Was your what do you think was one of the most difficult things for you to learn while learning English? Was it the writing, the
hmm
talking, the reading, or understanding it?
Well, Tagalog is very similar to Spanish in the way that words are pronounced. I had a very difficult time pronouncing English words. I guess one example would be island. When we had the ESL classes, I would always say island, island,
Yeah, that would happen to me too
right?
because of the Spanish. You
Mm-hmm.
pronounce every single
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Okay. And what was the most easy? So harder for you was to pronounce
Speaking, yeah.
speaking it. And what was the easiest?
Easiest for me was reading it,
Okay.
um, because the letters in Tagalog and the letters in English are very similar. So
Oh,
reading it wasn't hard. It was pronouncing it and saying words correctly. Yeah.
did your teachers give you easier material, or do they have like a tactic or strategies that they would use to help you?
Yeah, I had separate uh, instructional time with the teacher and with other ESL students. The one difficulty is that the other ESL students were all Hispanic,
Okay.
and the teacher knew Spanish, so she was able to talk to them. But because I didn't know Spanish and Spanish wasn't the language that was my first language, she had a hard time speaking to me and getting me to understand.
So was your school dominant in Hispanics?
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up in the Rio Grande Valley, which is the very southern tip of Texas, and I want to say my school was like 90-95% Hispanic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything that you would do outside of school to try to help yourself learn English?
Yeah, I would read a lot of books. So all the children's books with a lot of pictures in them.
She has a lot of books over here.
Yeah, as you can see, I have now grown my collection. But yeah, I would read a lot of books, and I would to try to, you know, learn as much as possible. I remember that I would read this one book so often, The Turtle and the Rabbit, this racing,
Uh-huh.
right? That I had the book front to cover memorized.
Oh my god. I mean, I used to do the same
Yeah.
sometimes. So would you say now that you're more fluent in English or in Galo?
So I'm definitely more fluent in English than Tagalog. So I don't know how to. I read Tagalog, but I can't read it very fast.
Okay.
Um,
Because do you surround yourself more with English?
With English,
And do
yeah.
you speak English more at home or Galo with your family?
We speak Tagalog here with my family, but I'm not here at home too often, so I've just spoken English more within the past I want to say 13 years that I've been here in the States than the 7 that I was in the Philippines.
Okay. Thank you, Jean.
Okay, thanks, Elvira.